Hello and welcome to my spotlight on the monitors in Computercraft 1.31. As you may know, this is a feature which allows you to display text in-game on the monitors rather than having to go into the terminal of the computer. As you can see, here's one I made earlier. This is the maximum size you can have for a monitor, which is 6 blocks up and 8 blocks right. Now, as you can see, you can change the text size. That is the maximum size that you can have on a monitor. And it's just a simple text which says Computercraft 1.31. Now, before we get into anything else, let me just show you how you actually make a monitor. As you can see here in the crafting window and my inventory, I've got stone around there and a glass plane in the middle. So it's pretty similar to a computer recipe really. If you replace this stone with a redstone dust, it would be a computer instead. So let's just craft one. And there's a monitor. Now I'm in creative mode, so of course the blocks aren't going to be used up, but let me just show you how to place a monitor. Of course you'd need more than one if you are on survival. Now, you do that, and just place them using the right mouse button like you would do a normal item or block. As you can see, they join together. Now, it's really neat in the fact that the logic will set up the screens like that, like so, whatever sort of way you try and set it up. So as long as you're facing the right direction when you're doing it. As you can see, they're joining onto each other, but not to that. And now that's the screen. And if I'll just complete this in whatever fashion I desire. As you can see, joins up to one whole monitor, which is kind of neat. Now, let me just go on to showing you how to use the monitor. Right, this script is just a simple one that I've put in startup, as you can see here. Now that's the very basics on how you would use a monitor using Lua, and you're recording that yourself, for instance. Now that's if you want to just address the monitor only and you don't want to run an existing program. I'll get to that in a second. As you can see, it has the same API as the terminal library. So anything you would do to term.write or etc., term.set cursor pos, like those two, they would just work like you would do on the term, just on the monitor object instead. As you can see, monitor is a peripheral, and if you use the wrap command, it wraps it to a table, so that all the commands can get used in the peripheral. It works with any sort of peripheral, but it really does come into its own on monitors just due to the fact that the API is exactly the same as the term, so it's just a lot more useful to do it that way. Right, now before I continue, as you see this text is large, and that's still large. It will keep set as large even if I run another program. So let me just reset it using this simple thing that's set up earlier. And as is sod to low. Alright, I've done it wrong. I forgot that I set it up to on different monitors. There you can see. As you can see, that's set to text scale 1. Text will still stay, so you can change the text scale and the text will stay there. Now the simplest way of using a monitor is actually the monitor command, and that is if you just want to run a command that you've got in the terminal already, any of the commands that come with Computercraft, and you just instead want to run it on the monitor instead of the actual Computercraft screen. So for instance, let me just just edit test. Oh, would help if I got it right. Monitor, right, edit test. There you go. As you can see, running edit on right monitor. As you can see, that's the edit command. Now, to interact with it, you still need to use the terminal, so it's much better if you just... It's generally better for read-only things right now. I mean, although you can use it on both, it's just might be the best way to doing it. If you're at least running a program on the right screen. I am thinking of creating a monitor, keyboard peripheral for the computers, so that you'd be able to, for instance, stand here, use an item, and use the monitor. But need to set up my environment for that first. But watch this space really. Now you terminate a program like you would do usually, using Control T. As you can see, it will be terminated. Of course, I could have just cancelled it using the exit function, but you know, I'm lazy. Now let me just show you a test program which shows that you can address the terminal and the monitor as independent entities. So for instance, you can write to the monitor and write to the terminal at the same time, both doing different things. As you can see, this is quite a simple program really. I just do a first check that the monitor at the side specified in the command is actually present and that it is a monitor. As you see, error message, and then it returns if it's wrong. Ooh, looks like I've done a quick mistake there. Right, there you go. You didn't see that. Okay, now this is just a simple loop which gets the terminal height, terminal width, monitor height, monitor width, and then it does a random number between 1 and those numbers for where it's going to set the cursor pos. As you can see, on the monitor it writes lol, on terminal right it writes, well, on the terminal it writes hacks, and then it sleeps for 0.1 seconds. So it's basically a very simple program, but just trying to show that you can use it on both terminals, but terminal and the monitor at the same time. Now let me just exit that and run it. So I wanted to test the side is right. As you can see, this is the terminal, and that's saying hacks. As you can see to the right as well, lol is actually appearing on the screen. And there you go. It's writing lol to the monitor on maximum size, and it's writing hacks to the terminal. So that's the basics of basically interfacing with the monitor as well as the terminal. You can also interface with as many monitors as you want. So let me just show you an example. There you go. Let me reset scale again. Don't want it messing up. Reset scale right. Help if I knew how to use my own program. Right. Let's just do another monitor on the left hand side, because computer can use as many monitors as it's got sides to connect to it. You can technically have one on each side, top, bottom, left, right, front and back, and it will still interface with it. Now say for instance I wanted to run that same program that I've just used, but I wanted to run it using the monitor command, so that the left one, left monitor, is actually seen by the program as being a terminal. So let me just show you that. So monitor left, monitor test right. So that runs the main program on the left, the main term output on the left, and it gives a argument of right to my monitor test program, so that my monitor test program uses the right monitor. As you can see, hacks is now on the left monitor, and lol is now on the right monitor. And there's nothing happening on the terminal, because as far as the computer is concerned right now, this is the terminal. And that's pretty much all I have to show you really, and just in time as it looks like the sun's going down. It would get a bit difficult to see like that. But yeah, I hope you like this. It was fun creating initial code, which then sent to Dan, and I'm sure it will be fun for you using this as well. I've heard lots of people want to use it as reactor control monitoring, so maybe that is one thing you want to do. But whatever you want to do, if you can post about it, I'd like to see what happens with it, just to see how it's being used. Of course, that's up to you. You don't have to post, but it'd be nice to see. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for bearing with me during this my first sort of YouTube video like this. Cheers.